desktop audio right now. Okay.
It's Billy. Right now. Yo, what if I got attacked by the clones? What if the builder think they found a better stone? What if the beat don't match with the metronome? What if that means you walk your path alone? Call me a vagabond. If all these streets leading to Rome, then wherever I lay is my home. It's Brooklyn, boy strong. I manifest, I'm in the zone. Y'all silly better back up off my throne. Listen, boy nice, better give him his propers. How we come out sane from all the mosh pits. How we found the key to the game without a locksmith. How we seem to manage these lanes is so obnoxious. He let it flow from the brain, trusting the process. A vet journeyman on multiple rosters. If I want it, I go out and get it and cop it. A monster with limitless options. Man, like goddamn, y'all gon' soon figure out who I am. We stay cooking, y'all used to that spam. Western beef, I might square up with the square dance. Look, I change plans, not even a southpaw, I'm an outlaw with a rare stance. Your crew never had a fair chance. Why's that? I kill a whole bear with my bare hands. Oh, they studied the dark? Well, I was raised in it. Brain shifted, the kid displayed insane physics. Best story never told, and it ain't finished. How we handled a rock, spun and kept the same pivot. I frame different, hot like a flame kitchen. A whole 2 levels out of your range gifted. Catch me on the highway, lane switching. Or right at the top of your Bay wish list. It's Billy. Right now. It's Billy.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Sheba. It's Sheba Sunday. Hope you had a good week. Yeah? Second week of 2023. Been having a good fortnight into the year. I hope so. Hope you've been having a nice weekend too. Okay, I'm going to light this sage. Let's get some good energy. This is actually Palo Santo. Yeah. What's been up? Welcome to Sheba Sunday. I start with gratitude, as I always do. I just have such a cool life. Yesterday we went and had a belated New Year's party with my sister, and my aunts and uncles were there, and our cousins, and it was cute. It was real cute. And, you know, today I got to have a fun leisurely morning. I got to talk to my friend Stacey, who we're all going to get to talk to a little bit today. And it's going to be really fun. So yeah, so this episode is Divorce Party Part 2. Because last week I did an episode on divorce. It was really good. And then I did like a little Instagram, Facebook post about my own divorce, which I think was also really good. Very well received. And so yeah, I was like, let's continue. I think it's like a topic that there's a lot of like mystery and mystique. I'm like, we're not supposed to talk about it, but like, you know, why? Who cares? And also whenever I talk about it, like I always feel better, and people are always like, ugh, just like me. Okay, cool. So I don't know. Let's just talk about it, I guess. Wow, this Palo Santo, it doesn't smoke as much as that other one I have sometimes. But it's quality over quantity. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, since I got started a little late, let's jump right in. Introducing the inaugural first guest on Sheba Sunday is my good friend, an amazing freaking person, a Baltimore staple. She's beautiful. She's sexy. She's brilliant. She's hilarious. She's a really good friend. She's a really kind human. This is Stacey Chambers. Hold on. Collab. and collab sound on Stacey.
Hi, Sheba. Happy Sheba Sunday to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me as your first guest. I'm so honored.
Yo, it's easy.
Although you're starting it off really high.
I know.
Ours now so high. What are you going to do now?
So just live up to that super high bar.
You're going to have next week's going to have to be Oprah.
I know. Oh my gosh. Who did I tell you I met Oprah once?
No.
Yeah, one time I met Oprah. And
what's the story? Give me the elevator story.
Yeah, okay. So right when the pandemic happened, I was trying to get into acting. And I got this job where it was like, I was going to be a stand-in. So to like test the lighting for this other thing that was going to happen for one of Oprah's book clubs. She was going to do a Zoom book club analysis with the writer of this book cast. And they wanted to, just test the lighting and the Zoom stuff and everything. Anyway, she doesn't have to come to her own rehearsals, but she did. And so she, after like the rehearsal, she went around to everyone on the Zoom and like asked them their name and just chatted with them for a little bit. And so she thinks my name is Kim, actually, because I was standing in for a woman named Kim. So she thinks I'm Kim from PG County, so that's kind of unfortunate. But
so I guess when she calls you Kim, you don't go like, actually it's Sheba.
I know.
So you just go like, well, if Oprah thinks my name is Kim, exactly. I guess my new name is Kim.
I'm like, you know what? The intention is there. She seems to love it. I love it. If it works for you, Oprah, great. It's actually a study in conformity. I was like maybe the 10th or 11th person to go. And so everyone before me, she called them by their stand-in name and no one else corrected her. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to be.
That's just an Oprah flex. Like, everybody thinks she's so nice, but she just goes in and renames everyone. Like, she shows up and she's like the queen. Like, she's like, you will now be.
I dubbed thee Kim from Prince George's County.
From the county of Prince George.
And I'm like, honored. I love that name. So clever. Oh my God. My mom, Sheba, what a terrible name. Idiot. Trash.
Yeah. Sheba, come on. It's not regal.
That is, I know. That's the other thing too. I'm like, dang it, my real name is so cool. And Oprah, not that Kim isn't a cool name, but.
Don't be Kim shaming.
I know. Kim is a great name. It's a very powerful thing. It works for Kim Jong-un.
Did it?
Is that his first name? I guess his name is Jong-un. Or Un. Girl, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kims are like famous Kims.
I know. I'm trying to think. I guess Kim Basinger?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if other Kims are like, yeah, let's use Kim as Jong-un as a famous Kim.
They feel a lot of power. They're like, oh, Kim Jong-un has the same name.
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. Turn collab cam volume up. Okay. Okay, that actually looks kind of better.
Would you like me to say words?
Yeah, say some words.
Words.
Great. Love
Wish
those.
I was a little bit taller.
I think it's
taller. Wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her.
I see it going into the yellow, which I think is just right. I love that.
Great.
Okay. So anyway, next week maybe Oprah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Aim high.
Exactly.
You're like, hey, remember Kim from PG County?
Exactly. And I'm gonna be like, oh, you're playing for second. Stacey Chambers did this first. So like
I set the stage.
Yeah, try to be professional, Oprah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I got your name right.
I love it. I know that alone is like the one qualification to be on Sheba Sunday. Please just call me Sheba. Oprah would be like, who's Sheba? Like, damn it.
Why is it called Sheba Sunday, Kim? Tell me about that.
Damn it. Okay, so me and Stacey, we met, I would say it's got to be at least 7 years ago, maybe?
I would say that's accurate because I've been in my current place for 8 years.
Mm.
And you moved into my apartment after I did.
Wow. Oh, you used to live at that other place.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It's so funny. The place you're in now is so you that, like, it's funny to think that you ever lived elsewhere.
Yeah.
But cool. So yeah, we met about 7 years ago. She was the property manager of a place that I rented for me and my ex-husband.
Yeah. I
And
got to meet the ex-husband.
yeah, Stacey, like, you know, knew me like in the thick of that. And
Yeah.
really honestly, you helped me kind of conceive of the idea that there could be something better than what I was doing.
Really? I never knew that.
Yeah, there was this time like towards the end. Remember when we would go to yoga?
Yeah.
And like at that time, my ex was spending a lot of times just like sleeping and like not doing anything except like when he occasionally wanted to. So like sometimes he wanted to go to yoga, so I would be like, "Great, let's go with Stacey." And he would like find an excuse to not come, and sometimes I would have to like make up, you know, kind of like you would be like, "Where's RJ?" Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say names. I don't know what the uh, freedom of speech part on that is, but what's a better one? Like Gary?
Well, how about something about like Troll Boy?
Troll Boy. Love that. Yeah. So like you would be like, "How's Troll Boy?" And I was like, "He's not feeling well, you know." And I think I learned around then that you also have some experience with difficult relationships and
Yeah.
um and yeah, so uh if you want, do you want to like give a little spiel about who you are and I don't know, whatever.
Sure. Do you mean personally or professionally or?
Whatever
Okay.
you know, however you want to
Defining
answer that.
myself in this moment.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Stacey Chambers. I am. It's funny when you're defining yourself, right?
I know. It's like, who am I? Huh.
Well, so when you're trying to remove layers of ego and trying not to get too deep, but you're like, well, what am I identifying as,
Yeah.
But how most people know me is I am the bus lady in Baltimore. So I drive a school bus around Baltimore, Maryland, selling wares at festivals and farmers markets, and I have been doing that for the last 12 years. And I've had the pleasure of just meeting and engaging with the community of Baltimore and beyond. And I'm super grateful that I've been able to do that for as long as I have.
So how long have you been doing that? What
12 years.
12 years. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I definitely view you as like a Baltimore staple. And
Yeah.
like I
Not
think
to be arrogant.
yeah, no, of course. I mean, just
Yeah.
to be, the reality is that like when I am talking about you, sometimes I'm like, you might have seen her. She's at like, the farmer's market, all of the farmer's markets, like every kind of thing where there's like a neighborhood festival and stuff.
Yeah.
She's the one with the awesome painted bus and she's selling cool vintage clothes and she's like so fun and interesting. And so, yeah. And everyone is usually like, oh yeah, I do know that lady.
Yeah. And I'm always like, my friend Sheba, you may know her as Kim. She's this like bright, vivacious, intelligent, smart, sexy, funny, all the good adjectives you can name or apply to a person she is. And they're like, oh yeah, I know Kim.
Exactly. It's a gift and a curse being so amazing.
There's a sunbeam right here.
Yo, I see it. It looks really beautiful. Like this is perfect natural lighting. And some people have to buy a ring light to get this effect, but you just...
I just sit on my floor and pet my dog in front of my window.
This is really the vibe I'm trying to go for Sheba Sunday anyway. Just like...
Well, let me know when you get Oprah. She can come to my house and sit in this exact spot.
There we go.
We can recreate that.
That's it. Oh, Captain Buggy, who is this awesome person, Aaron, he says Baltimore icon. Oh, who is he talking about? Probably you, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe he's talking about
I
Oprah.
think both of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, Oprah is a Baltimore icon also.
Exactly. Yeah. So hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, so you're a really awesome person who I'm so glad to know, and it was really cool to like over the past couple of years be like, wow, a really awesome person like likes me and wants to spend time with me and include me in their life. That's really cool. And it helps like reorient me sometimes when I give in to like, oh, am I not cool? Am I like a burden? Am I this? And it just helps reorient
I mean,
me.
I think the truth is most people don't feel that cool. and, and most people are constantly oscillating between like complete senses of self-power and being strong and then also a complete imposter syndrome and just hoping that nobody recognizes that they are faking it.
Yo, absolutely. That's what helps me too sometimes is like, oh, you know what? I bet everyone else is just as concerned that they're like looking weird or in a bad way and that people are going to like talk about them and so they don't even like notice me, you know?
Yeah, everybody gets boogies in their nose.
Everybody gets boogies in their nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, and I think, it's basically just when you see someone being their most authentic self, which I think you navigate from a place of most of the time that I've been around you, that people in their most authentic selves and the people that have risen or have evolved or are having those breakthrough moments of authenticism, that when they see you doing it, their authentic is going to gravitate and resonate, and you guys are going to vibrate on the same level.
Yeah, very well put.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like knowing you and being around you helps me be like more of myself and trust myself a little bit more. And I've been seeing it kind of, it bleeds into other people. I've been seeing more, like when I posted about divorce, like I got such positive feedback and, is it okay? On desktop audio, I turned the audio off on desktop. Okay, sorry. I like to break the fourth wall, but Billy's like, no, it's okay. And I'm like, no, wait, what? That's how I feel. Oh.
This is the reality of people needing help and figuring things out and having support networks and.
Exactly.
That's right. What's up, y'all?
You know, this talking and kikiing comes naturally to me, but like the tech stuff is not something.
Oh my God.
You know.
I couldn't. I'm such a like a Luddite.
A Luddite. What's that word mean?
Technology. Just someone who's just not good at technology or is kind of like a dum dum. I'm like a tech Luddite, and I have on my. I don't know if it's my browser bar. I don't exactly know where the browser bar becomes a tab, but somehow Southwest is on, like right beneath my browser. And I've tried going to settings and I can't get it off, and I've Googled things and I just am like, okay.
You know, the universe wants you to always like be right about to book a flight.
Exactly. And I think I can beat myself up over it or be like, okay, at some point someone who knows more than me will hopefully be able to resolve this or help me come to the conclusion.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to know everything. You just have to know that there are some people who can help you with the things you don't know and
also release the things that are actually struggles versus like minor inconvenience, major inconvenience, or a fucking catastrophe.
Yeah. Will this matter in 5 minutes? You know, exactly. A year, 5 years. Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So your wedding or your marriage post or divorce post, the last video that you posted, Oh God.
Yeah,
Do, do you mind sharing what that was from?
yeah. So that was around 2015. Me and my ex, we separated twice. So this was the impetus for the first separation. And yeah, we had gone out to dinner, and um, not that it matters, but I paid. And I was just trying to, at that point, I was trying to talk to him about, going to therapy, like being honest, with his therapist, really trying to create a plan to, like, I don't know, to just get him out of what I thought was just a funk,
Mhm.
and to help him, just direct his life a little bit better. And, you know, I'm a very solutions oriented person. And I think some people, my ex included, wanted to, kind of just vent. And so I think when I would offer solutions, he would feel attacked and try to, kind of belittle me and um, make me think that, like, I was actually wrong. Like I was sleeping a lot. And so I must be depressed. And, like, I have to go to therapy, and all the things I would tell to him, he would, like, reverse back. And he was really good at, like, you know, I think of myself as, like, unflappable, but he was really good at, flapping me. And so
Yeah.
um, he was, just, needling at me. And I just started, sobbing. And I'm like, you know, I, I'm, just like, why? We had just learned in our couples therapist about, uh, de-escalating each other. Like, when some
Oh.
person is heated, like helping them to, breathe through and blah, blah, blah. And at first I was screaming, like, why won't you de-escalate me? And,
Yeah.
sometimes my ex would say things like, he would call me, like, a demon. Me,
Ah.
a
Yeah.
demon. And I was just like, why why do you stay? If I'm this terrible
Yeah.
person, why do you stay? And
Yeah.
so I was, like, screaming and crying. I was just, like, so despaired. And I look over and he's recording me. And I was
Wow.
just like, and I took his phone and I threw it out the window. And and it was my car, so I was driving. And he got out. I drove home, drove to the place that we shared, on Howard. And when he came back, uh, he started, like, screaming and stuff. And anyway, I went to my friend Rachel's house. Then I went home. I went to my friend Rachel's house, and in the morning, I got this email from my ex, Troll Boy, and it was addressed to me, my mom, his mom, and our therapist. And he had attached the video that he took, and he had written this whole thing about how I am this terrible person who, and it's my parents' fault. And,
Whoa.
like, it's like my parents did a terrible job. And so now I'm fucked up. My sister's fucked up. My brother's fucked up. And he just hopes that we're able to heal. And like, I got that email, and I was at my friend Rachel's, and I was just like, ah, ah, ah! I was just like,
Oh my God.
what? And I saw that he was trying to show, like, see, she's this crazy person. And, like, I'm not, whatever she's going to say about me, you can't believe
Yeah.
what she has to say. She's crazy. And I was just so, like,
Wow.
yeah. So anyway, that's the kind of fuller context of,
But how impressive it is that you, my roommate's home, that you were ashamed of that video in that moment, and then flash forward to 7 years, however many years it's been, to post that on your own social media as from a place of strength
yeah.
and courage.
Yeah. I recognized that he wanted me to feel ashamed of my humanness,
Yeah.
and to want to, learn about me simply so he could, throw it back and try to trap me and
Yeah.
control me. And
Yeah, and also I don't know how long the video was, but it was just you.
yeah, It was actually
there
just
was
that
no
12.
preamble.
Yeah, he literally, as I was like crying and sobbing, he had taken out his phone to start. So that was the whole video. And it stopped when I, threw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I knew that he wouldn't have, like, didn't film for longer because he didn't want the context. He wanted,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's like when they show the videos of someone doing something, but they don't show why they did the thing.
Yeah. So this person just looks like,
It's such
wow.
a manipulative tactic.
Yeah. And I then it worked. I was very embarrassed. And
Sorry, I got a little chill just then.
oh, no worries.
So if you're on video and you see me wiggle,
shimmy as much as you need, But yeah, I could tell he wanted me to feel ashamed of that and to be quieter because of that. And I thought, now I'm totally free of that situation, that experience. I'm like a different person many times over. So let me take my power back. And, I don't want this to to come back and to bite me and someone be like, oh, look, she's just trying to present this good image. I'm trying to present a very full image of my humanness.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when people see that, it is inspiring because it shows, like if I think about myself and who I was when I was married, and I was in an abusive marriage, and I was in a very controlling marriage, and I didn't have a support network when I left. I didn't have, my family's not here. I had no friends because when you're in an abusive relationship, part of what that is isolation and feeling a sense of shame.
Yeah.
And I think when more people like you and I, who are light bringers in the world, show the times when we were in the shadow, or like someone made us in the shadow, and how we left those shadows and came back to our full nature of being light bringers. I think that's really powerful. It's like, what's that guy's name? Oh God, let me think. He was a runner in 1954. I can't think of his name. Maybe in post you can look it up. He ran the 4-minute mile. And this was in 1954, and they said it couldn't be done. They thought if you run a 4-minute mile, your heart will fucking explode.
Wow.
There's no way that you can do it. The human body is not capable of doing this. And then he did it, and he trained for like 6 years to run the 4-minute mile. But once he ran that, the person who beat his time, it was like 3 months later. And it is just somebody seeing that something is possible.
Yeah.
Makes it possible for them.
Yeah, totally. The brain isn't great at creating things it hasn't seen. So, but once it sees it, it's like, oh,
exactly.
Great. If that's possible, what else could be possible,
Right. And so I think seeing people get out of things, or seeing people that they're like, oh, you're always so happy, you're always in such a good mood, it's so seemingly easy. Your life seems seemingly beautiful, which it is. But to think that there have been moments that you overcame to get to the beautiful life that you have.
Yeah.
Both internally and externally.
Yeah.
And you showing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's, yeah, totally. I think that, like, I see, I've definitely seen that in you. I'm like, wow, Stacey just makes things look effortless, and she's herself, and she has this like great business, and yeah, that was, and yeah, you just make it work. But I also know you more personally, and I recognize that you struggle with things. You have gone through so much. And to see who you've arrived at is really awesome and helps inspire me. And yeah, I hope to help other people see, like, if you think I look effortless, that's awesome. I really love that. But like, girl, like, I'm kind of just making it up, and I'm glad that it's working out,
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're from Reno originally.
Correct.
Reno, Nevada. That's like
Nevada.
Nevada. Oh, Nevada? Is that it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. So people from Nevada get very upset. I don't really care, but if somebody says Nevada, oh, people from Nevada get like
they're like, what do you have a tea
you,
with the queen?
New York. Exactly.
Nevada. That's
Nevada.
funny. Okay, so you're from Nevada. Nevada.
Nevada.
The biggest little town in
The biggest little city in the world.
the biggest little city in the
Divorce
world.
capital of the world.
The what? Divorce capital? Wow. Do you think that's because it's so close to like Vegas?
Yeah, I think it's also just somebody has to be the divorce capital.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
and
right.
I think Reno has a quickie marriages also. Maybe people there are just smarter and like, okay, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of it.
Yeah. Maybe you could just tell, like, oh no, this is not. Let's get quickie divorce.
I got drunk and married someone. It was 18. Not me personally.
Yeah.
I'm just creating a scenario.
Yeah. What actually? Did you come over to Baltimore because, like, as part of your marriage?
Sort of. I was in Phoenix. So I grew up in Reno, and then I moved to Phoenix when I was a teenager and went through some traumas and blah, blah, blah. And I met my ex-husband like a week after my 18th birthday.
Wow.
And I was estranged from my family, and he was from Baltimore. So we bounced around a little bit, and then he wanted to come back to Baltimore because he missed playing softball with his softball team.
Okay. They don't have softball? Oh, with the specific team. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I know.
Yeah.
And so I had never really experienced the East Coast, and I was in love, and
Yeah.
there's also a little known tax credit. So if a man brings an attractive woman to Maryland, they get a tax break for like 10 years.
I believe it.
Take advantage of that.
Yo, I believe it. That would make sense. So,
Yeah.
I see, like, about how old was your ex when you met?
He, I think, was 5 years older than me.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about both of our exes, they are, like, savvy enough to recognize, like, we're really powerful partners to have in your corner.
Yes.
We're
yes, 100%.
Yeah, we're good. We're gonna, like, if this person has an idea, we're like, cool. Let's see how we can make the best of this, like the most of this thing. And
and he would always say things like, "You're the nicest person I've ever known, and you're the nicest this, and you're so so funny, so smart, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
All the attributes that made me special, that he liked, he also would pick on because they made me different from his partners, and also made him feel smaller.
Yeah, I feel like it comes from, they have this sense of, like, they don't deserve a partner who's really kind and really loving. So you must be something other than that. You must be performing in order to, just like all the other girls.
Yeah, I think with him it was more just about conformity. And
Say more
wanting.
on that.
Huh?
Say more on that, if you would.
Oh, I think just as a society, people like to have their choices and decisions and paths validated by other people doing the same things.
Right.
Like if you decide to move to a certain neighborhood,
Right.
you know, you and your friends like, I'm looking to move, and they're like, move to my neighborhood.
Yeah.
My neighborhood's the best neighborhood. And then when they move there, it validates your decision even further. Because it's not just your choice. Someone else has also agreed
Mm-hmm.
with your choice.
Mm.
And so it just further validates like ego and identity.
Yeah. So you think for him it
And
was like maybe his friends were getting married and
yeah, and you know, and I just think societal expectations,
yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this. These are the societal benchmarks of success
Yep.
in evolution of relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all these relationships have to escalate in a very like kind of typical way and
Exactly.
yeah, and that totally makes sense. And you kind of get this validation from like, see, I did the things and other people who do the things, are
Yeah.
you feel better about
And
yourself because you've
and then if you have a group of friends and your partner is sort of anomalistic within the friend group,
mm,
like we would play game nights,
mm-hmm.
and it was, you know, gendered, so it's like boys against girls, and they would call it boys against Stacey because none of the other girls had any real, not diminishing them, but like any real like interest or knowledge, like if we played trivia.
Right.
But a lot of times it was the way their relationships were structured, you know, like hierarchy of needs kind of shit,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, I have had 2 or 3 children with this man, and the man is just gets to go and have fun and drink beer. I have to nurture and rear these children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like our society allows a lot of freedom for men and like women are
Exactly.
supposed to like fall in line and the man's duty is to make sure their person, and so when you see a woman who's interesting and fun and self-directed, uh, it's like we don't need you to do that. We need you to like care for the kids and let the dudes do their
Exactly.
thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, if you see a man changing a diaper, he's such a good dad. Look at him, he's changing diapers. And if you see a woman changing diapers, it's just what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's her job.
Yeah, totally. We babysit our nieces on Wednesdays, and Billy, kind of grew up. He's about 10 years older than his siblings, so he was tasked with a lot of like rearing, of his. So he knew how to change diapers and do all the things, and so like on Wednesdays, like I'm kind of for feminism's sake. I was like I don't want people to expect me to have these mothering skills to
Yeah.
be this person who's trying to keep a clean home and cook for
Be
everyone.
sexy.
Exactly. Like I can do maybe one of those things and I think it's gonna have to be sexy. So like,
This week.
yeah. And so I love that Billy is, he is great at changing diapers and nurturing and at home he washes dishes and he's just a very nurturing awesome person who also is not like expecting me to be this clean housewife,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Well, it is interesting too. I mean, how much our partner, I mean, when that's like when you're married. I mean, my ex-husband only ate meat, cheese, and starches. And so when I made food, and he didn't like ethnic foods, so I didn't have sushi or
Wow.
Indian food or Thai food, like my favorite foods, until I left him when
Wow.
I was 30.
Wow. So you guys were together for 12 years also.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. What,
And
so
so I
when,
think about that.
yeah, please continue.
Well, just the levels of which being with the wrong person
Yeah.
can impact every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about volatility or fighting. It's just like, you know, you choose to make a life with this person and you guys will inevitably conform to the stronger person. if it's not an equal
Yeah, totally.
relationship.
That, like, I think some people rely on that someone is going to back down. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of times men think it's the woman's duty to back down. And
Yeah.
I think that's maybe why, like, the world kind of looks the way it does, is that, like, men are just allowed to, you know, eat meat and cheese and starch and not have anyone try to, you know, help them take better care of themselves, you know, care about themselves, then blah, blah, blah. And women are just like, oh, no, let's, you know, let's just let them do what they want. And, you know, it's...
Exactly. But now the script's getting flipped.
Script is getting flipped. So when was, like, if it's anything like mine, I kind of recognized pretty quickly after. I was like, oh, I got married. I was like, oh no, I think I might have made a boo-boo. But it's okay. I'm gonna, you know, give it the old college try. I really tried a lot of different methods, but so when was the time that it was kind of your, like, shit?
I mean, quite honestly, we had been together for a while before we got married.
Really?
Yeah, I think we got married in maybe... I left him in 2009 maybe, and I think we got married maybe in 2006.
Got you. Yeah.
But we had been together many years before that.
Mm.
And I knew, like, he was abusive, and we were in Hawaii, and we got in this big fight right when we left the airport, because we had a very terrible travel day. And we were literally getting married the next day at sunrise.
Oh my God.
We flew into Hawaii. We got there at like 2 a.m. We got our rental car. We instantly started, he was angry, and I was like, maybe we shouldn't do this. And it escalated even more. And he said he was going to jump off the balcony of our resort or throw me off. And he, like, pushed me out on the balcony and locked me on the balcony. And the next morning was it was cold. It was Hawaii, but it was cold.
Yeah, it's at nighttime, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just laid on the floor of the balcony and slept there for a couple hours. And then the next morning, so we had to get up at like 4 in the morning. It's okay. We had to, you know, get up.
Get
And
ready.
he just opened the balcony door and was like, hey, it's time. And so I took a shower, and I had, you know, like 2 hours sleep, and had slept on the balcony floor.
Oh my gosh.
And then we went and got married, and I was just too exhausted to fight it.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, it was fun. You know, we were like, oh, we're married, and everybody was like, wow, you guys are on your, like, honeymoon, and you got married, and then but
Yeah.
they didn't know how fucked up it was.
Everyone projects
I knew, like,
this,
right out of the gate.
Yeah, everyone projects this image of, like, oh, newlyweds, you're in the honeymoon period. It's like,
and that was what people did our whole relationship. You know, we were, like, young, relatively successful. Like, we had a house when we were like 26.
Yeah.
And everybody was just like, oh my gosh, you guys go on vacations and you have a house and you're very attractive and all this bullshit. But
yeah,
like, neither one of us, I don't know that he's capable of being happy. So I can't say, like, oh, he was unhappy in our marriage. I think he was just unhappy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think some people get attached to this, like, identity that they are, like, kind of unhappy and the victim, and that the world is working against them, conspiring against them to, you know, just make their lives difficult. And
yeah, so boring. It's just a boring stance that a lot of people have, like, mostly men, where they're just like when we went to Spa World, and those men yelled at us And we're like, we weren't even paying attention to
I
you.
didn't even notice they were
Why
there.
didn't you say? Yeah, other than their phones.
Right?
Actually, okay, I have to button this up in like
Cool.
the next 5 minutes.
No worries, no worries. I really enjoyed you, and we can have you back on like whenever you have another Sunday available and would like to do this, because like you're such a great storyteller. You have so much wisdom that like you don't even maybe are fully conscious of. Just like the chats that we have, where I'm like, oh dang, you just like really helped me, just conceive of this existence a little bit differently. And so thank you so much for everything you've shared today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, totally.
It was lovely to see your face, and I hope that you all come over soon.
Yes, definitely. And
I'm gonna throw out some dates for you.
Yeah, please do. And we can't wait. Love you so much.
Yay!
And
love you so much.
Yeah, have a great rest of the day. I hope you find whatever you're looking for.
Same with you.
Thanks, dude.
Later,
okay.
Gator.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye, everyone.
See ya. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to main screen. Sheba only. That was great. Thank you so much for watching as, I got to kiki with my good friend. She's so interesting. She's such a fun person, and she is such a light bringer. I like the word that she used for it. And I think that's absolutely true. And it's interesting. One thing during my marriage, my friend Rachel, who also helped me get out of it, one time when we were in the thick of it, I think right before that video that me and Stacey were referencing, right before I finally told Rachel, that I was what was going on in my life. And as Stacey also said, one of the ways kind of abusive people abuse is by isolating you and from your family and friends, and not just by being like, you can't hang out with them, you're not allowed to hang out with them. They'll oftentimes poison the water about your friends and family, and they'll be like, your friends don't really love you, your family is just using you, I'm the only one you can trust, and you're kind of like not earning my trust. And so like just like all these ways. And also sometimes they'll act crazy. They'll act really volatile in public and kind of make you not want to risk that they are going to have a blow up or be mean or do something that is going to kind of embarrass you publicly. So you just stay home, or stay away at least from people who know you. But so I was lucky to, I was spending some time with my friend Rachel, who, by the way, refused to be around my ex because he had been like crazy to her. I think specifically because he didn't want me to be able to use her as a support, as an outlet. And but I told her, I shared what was going on, and I started crying, and she was like, I noticed you have your light is dimmed. Not that she didn't recognize me, but she recognized something was different, was like off. And she helped me like wonder whether or not it was this person I was with. And, like Stacey was saying, on her, the night before she was supposed to get married, she was forced to sleep on the balcony. And by the time you get let back in the morning, it's like, hey, I'm just happy that they let me in the door, and look, they're in a good mood now. Let me not ruin it. let's just make the best of it. And it's like you can recognize like, oh snap, I'm kind of in a situation that is not good for me. But it's tough. You like really don't want to like quit too early. Plus there's a person who's telling you like, you're a bad person if you quit, if you don't go through with what you intended to, but can you imagine if Stacey Chambers hadn't gotten the, courage, the trust, the love, risked, that there was nothing better out there, if she had just like stayed by some dude who brought her to Baltimore because he wanted to play softball with his friends, what? And and again, like I get it, me and Stacey are really powerful humans, and so I'm not surprised that when we were younger and knew less about the world and ourselves and relationships and other people, that like, some people might want to try and harness and control our light and power, so that they can use it for their own purposes. And they don't really care what's best for us, for me and Stacey. They only care about us so far as they can use our power for their benefit, these dudes' benefit. And I don't. I blocked my ex on everything, so I don't follow him. I'm sure he's talked some other girl into marrying him, a smart, capable girl who's really compassionate, woman who's very compassionate, and is great at effortlessly kind of people see them and they're like, this girl has it all together, and look at her, attractive husband who's a businessman. They must be this like power couple. And I definitely felt, at the beginning, I was like, oh, we are this attractive couple with, higher degrees, graduate degrees and things. And I was thinking, I was like, yo, like our kids would look like Pharrell. My ex was a Filipino guy. I was like, our kids would look like Pharrell, or like, what's her name? Amory, and like, a beautiful Blasian, a lovely African. That would be like, that was something where I was like, ugh, when people wouldn't, who didn't know us, would like see us, they'd be like, oh my God, you guys are such a cute couple. Your babies are going to be so beautiful. And it's like, it's difficult. It's like, man, everyone else is so proud of you and so happy for you, because they see like two attractive people, and so they assume they must be, they must like each other. I mean, they must love each other. They must be having a good relationship, and you really want that to be true. And so I certainly did, and Stacey, we certainly like bend over backwards to try to make it work. Not just make the best of a situation, but truly to make the best situations. And it's hard when you have a partner who might not be aligned in that goal. They might be more committed to having this image of success and, they're doing everything right. But they don't want to actually hear anyone being honest about what's, like some things that they might need to work on, or some things that are like, maybe you're projecting this image, but actually the substance of it is not there. And again, I'm a very solutions oriented person. I use my creativity to like kind of, if someone is in my life, I try to really pour into them, because I know how the rest of the world can be. It can be very like, if you don't reach these milestones, like we're taught that you're allowed to kind of discount people for that. If you're not married, to the right person, if you don't have the right profession, if you don't look the right way, like it's been so that you can kind of make fun of people for that. You can treat them less well. You can give them less opportunities. You can give them less grace. You can treat them harsher. So yeah, I can see why there's a lot of pressure to kind of conform yourself into these, the way you're supposed to look, the relationships you're supposed to have, the life you're supposed to have, how you're supposed to act within that life based on your gender that was assigned to you. That you can't, choose those things. They're kind of bestowed upon you, and you have to make the best of it. And I'm just like really glad that, I happened to meet someone like Stacey, because I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have been able to see like that something better could come for me if I just trust myself. I saw Stacey as someone who came all the way from like Nevada, Reno, Nevada. Her family was not helping her, uh, and she made it. She was able to come over here, give it the old college try, and still be like, you know what? I can do this on my own. Me and my baby gonna be all right. We gonna live a good life. And I love that, like, I think how this thing works is like people will see my bravery, in being like, this is who I am. I'm a human who wants to be loved and, can really contort myself if I want to in order to get the semblance of love. And I will, really try to prove my value in a thing. I recognize that I have a lot of skills and gifts and natural talents that happen to help me in this reality, in this timeline. And I recognize that other people might not have as much or might not be aware that they have as much. And so I try to use what I have to pour into other people. And for some people, like Stacey, like Billy, like my family, they receive that and they pour it back into me. They don't just keep siphoning off all of my light and power and love and throw it back in my face to try to control me, And I think, that's what I'm seeing more of that. I think more people are kind of waking up to their power and that they don't have to stay imprisoned by other people's stories of who they should be, and that you can still have an amazing life, a life that gets increasingly more amazing as you trust yourself more, as you don't feel like you have to be like, oh, well, in order to be happy, I have to have a partner. Oh, in order to be happy, I have to marry that partner. In order to be happy, we have to never have sex with anyone else again. In order to be happy, we have to create children. We have to create children to give ourselves purpose, because we can't have purpose outside of these things that people have prescribed for us. I think it's all made up. Y'all know. I'm always talking about how it's all made up. And it is. And I love that, like, people who also seem to have like an inner sense that like this is all made up, they're drawn to me, and they have a lot of grace for me and help reorient me. I hope I am that for them too. I think I might be, which is great. But I also want everyone to know that I am making this up, and this is my best guess at like what's going on, and I hope I can help first and foremost navigate myself through this thing, so that it works out amazingly for me. But I know my construction of what like is amazing for me is that everyone else also has an amazing existence and is also able to feel free and loved and valued. So my struggle for freedom is tied up within all of y'all's struggle for freedom. So be gentle with yourselves, please. And yeah. Yeah. Let me know if that resonates with you guys. Let me know if you gals. Let me know if you would like me to talk about anything in particular in future episodes. This is episode 7, I'm pretty sure. And I've been getting some like really nice feedback from people whose feedback I very much value. And this thing is going to keep getting better. Going to get better and better. Tomorrow, Billy is going to be on How Billy Sees It. He's going to be talking, I think, more about the real man sphere, and like the tenets of masculinity and new masculinity and just getting in and out of that. but also he might be talking about media, which is, storytelling, performance, duty, blah, blah, blah. With great power comes great responsibility. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to talk about it, but I know you probably shouldn't miss it. It's probably going to be a lot of good tidbits, and a lot of meaty stuff for us to chew on. So yeah, I hope you'll join us for that tomorrow. And by us, I mean Billy is going to be doing it, and I'm just going to be like watching, lurking. But yeah, anyway, I really enjoyed that. We got started a little late, and Stacey already had plans, so I want to have her back on, though. I love her perspective. It's both, how she got to become married and divorced is so different from mine, like our upbringings, and what led us to our first husbands, and our journey within that. The support we had, like, was just so different, but we ended up kind of the same place. We ended up friends, able to kind of have a symbiotic relationship where we like it's just really working out. Looking forward to that too. Yay, I'm so glad. This has been like really fun. I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm gonna think on it more, because every time I talk to Stacey, I just like dang, wow, and I see more of myself in that too. Like, dang, that the thing about the wedding, and kind of it's kind of like this is maybe a bad idea, and we've maybe but like being with a person who's like, well, you've come too far, you kind of got to do it, we've come all this way, we've invested all this money, which I think is part of the sunk cost fallacy. Don't keep throwing good money after bad money. Don't continue making a bad mistake just because you've spent a long time making it. Stacey had been dating that guy for several years before they got married. And she lasted about 3 years in her marriage before she got out, which is the same as me, except I dated this guy for like 6 months or so. And then I got married, but same results within 3 years. We were like, no, this isn't going to work. And like, oh my gosh, ever since then, as I said in my post, and I will keep saying on this, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I was able to remember who I was and who I could be, and that I didn't let kind of the decisions I'd made trap me. I really want to be so free that it helps free other people, frees myself and others. And I don't know, I think I'm doing it slowly but surely. Probably, yeah, I think slowly but surely. So anyway, yeah, see y'all tomorrow on Billy's channel, How Billy Sees It. It's going to be great. I will see you next week for Sheba Sunday. It's going to be a really good one. I don't know what it's going to be about yet. I'm going to see what goes on in the next couple of days, and what feels right for next Sunday. Yeah. So anyway, put your head up to your screen. Put your forehead against your screen. Just real quick. Love you. This is all made up. So, be cool. And yeah, I'm really excited to see you next week. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, I'm going to turn this on. That's on. I'm going to do that.
It's Billy. Right now. Yo, what if I got attacked by the clones? What if the builder think they found a better stone? What if the beat don't match with the metronome? What if that means you walk your path alone? Call me a vagabond. If all these streets leading to Rome, then wherever I lay is my home. It's Brooklyn, boy strong. I manifest, I'm in the zone. Y'all silly better back up off my throne. Listen, boy nice, better give him his propers. How we come out sane from all the mosh pits. How we found the key to the game without a locksmith. How we seem to manage these lanes is so obnoxious. He let it flow from the brain, trusting the process. A vet journeyman on multiple rosters. If I want it, I go out and get it and cop it. A monster with limitless options. Man, like goddamn, y'all gon' soon figure out who I am. We stay cooking, y'all used to that span. Western beef, I might square up at the square dance. Look, I change plans, not even a southpaw, I'm an outlaw with a rare stance. Your crew never had a fair chance.
Why's that?
I kill a whole bear with my bare hands. Oh, they studied the dark? Well, I was raised in it. Brain shifted, the kid displayed insane physics. Best story never told, and it ain't finished. How we handled a rock, spun and kept the same pivot. I frame different, hot like a flame kitchen. A whole 2 levels out of your range gifted. Catch me on the highway, lane switching. Or right at the top of your bay wish list. It's Billy.